Welcome back, everyone. Aga Sweki here from SKG, and another fun subject today, perfect for December, and that's self-care rituals and practices. So I know that might sound a little bit more fluffy than the other subjects that we talked about, less serious, but I know a lot of people that I talk to do not even have one of these rituals in place to allow them to manage stress, to show up better, to be rested, to be happier. So I think this is important, especially now, especially after what happened with COVID and everything that happened this year, actually in 2020, moving into 2021, this is the perfect time to evaluate how many of these you have, or maybe you don't have any, something to think about, but that's what we're gonna focus on. So think about this. There are some activities and things you do in your life and people that you spend time with that actually charge your batteries and make you feel more happy, more alive, more energized, more creative, more empowered, right? We all have it. So if you think about those people, you're going to probably be able to pinpoint immediately who your people are. Now, there are also things and activities and people that drain us. That's just what it is. We don't think about it oftentimes, but that's just how life works. So they drain us and we feel tired. Maybe we feel discouraged. Maybe we feel restricted, whatever it may be, but they're not as uplifting as the other experiences. And the reason why we're talking about it is because it's actually really, really important to know which ones are feeding us and which ones are draining us. So I'll give you an example. Sarah Blakely, who built Spanx, she talks about creativity and how you absolutely have to, when you're coming up with a new product or a company, you actually have to know when you're the most creative. You need to figure this out. This is not something anyone can do for you. So for her, it was, she felt the most creative when she was in the car driving. And when Spanx was built very close to her home, or vice versa, she realized there's no driving anymore. So she would actually get in the car and drive around the block so that she could keep brainstorming ideas, because she knew that this was the time and the environment where she felt the most creative. So it's the same thing with wellness, fitness, mindset, and charging your batteries. You actually have to know what charges your batteries and what drains your batteries, because you never want to get to a point where when you're out of fuel. You never want to get yourself to that point. So I have some examples for you. I think this is super helpful, especially for people who maybe don't have any of this incorporated in their life. Some of them are super simple. Some of them it might be obvious for you. But again, I highly invite you to, or highly recommend and invite you to looking at these. And even if you know this, know it a little deeper and think about, am I really using it? Not just know it, but am I actually incorporating this into my life? So a couple of things, and by the way, those self-care rituals and practices, that applies to every area of your life. So it's everything from your relationships to your work, to your wellness, to your mindset, to your fitness. Everywhere you can do this work and ask, what else can I do more of to feel more alive and more happy and more energized, more creative, and show up better? So this applies to every area. Now, some of the examples, this is super exciting. One of my favorite practices that's the fastest, the easiest, and really you don't have to think about it too much, is a gratitude practice before bed. This actually can be done just you and you with yourself, or you can do it at the dinner table with your kids and ask them, what are 3 things that you're grateful for today? Or what are your highlights from today? That naturally redirects your focus to the positive things in your life. So whether something bad happened, you are naturally scanning, you're constantly scanning for, what were my highlights? What were my highlights? And that's what my partner asks me every single day. What were your highlights from today? So whether it's something positive or negative, he wants to know, what are the things that stood out to you? And you're naturally scanning for the positive. So this is a big one. 3 things that you're grateful for today. This is a daily practice. Second one is setting outcomes, whether it's that morning when you first wake up, or intentions, whether you call it outcomes or intentions, same purpose. Or the night before, so that you can wake up and your brain knows, this is my goal for today, this is how I want to be, this is how I want the meeting to go, this is what I want to get accomplished. And you feel really good because suddenly your mind has a target, right? Again, your mind is cybernetic. It just tell me where to go. Where the hell do you want me to go, right? Versus, well, I'm going to go to one of these places that I've been before already because they're familiar. So I'm going to take a familiar path. Versus, no, I'm in charge. I'm going to create the path. I'm going to tell you where to go and what to do. That's what the brain really likes. Yoga and meditation, whether you're into yoga, whether you're into meditation, of course, you don't have to. I highly recommend it, even if it's 5 minutes of stillness or silence on the yoga mat, nothing advanced or professional, just simply a moment of being present is incredibly helpful with managing stress. Yoga and meditation. Movement. Movement as a way of giving yourself some self-love versus a punishment because I ate a cookie, or I haven't worked out in a week, or I have to, or any kind of guilt-related reasons. They're ineffective, they're unsustainable, and really don't feel good to us, right? So movement as a self-love. So whether it's a walk in the park, or maybe it's a CrossFit class, whatever it may be for you, both are valid, both are good. Now, hobbies. This is a good one. Hobbies, and everyone has hobbies, everyone has interests, but assess how much time you actually spend investing your time and energy into things that you love doing, that make you feel alive. And if it's nothing or very little, that's also something to look at, right? I don't have time, I'm busy, COVID happened, I have kids, so I haven't painted in a while, I haven't danced in a while, I haven't taken any classes online in a while. Maybe I wanted to learn a new language, whatever it may be. These are the things that actually make you happy. They naturally have to be a part of your life, because guess what? So I have this friend who, he's gone through several personal development programs and figured out that the thing that makes him really happy and joyful and charges his batteries is fishing. He's like, I just want to be on the lake fishing. And if it's sunset, it's even better. And so he said, I know it sounds silly and so simple, but this is what makes me feel alive. And why do I need a permission to do more of it? Right? Because it's not one of your responsibilities. It's not like a core of your day, but at the same time, it makes you feel more happy. It makes you feel more alive. Therefore, you show up better at work. You show up better with your family because your batteries are charged. So think about how much time, what's the percentage of your energy that goes to your hobbies and interests during your week or during your day? Even better. It could simply be rest, the most underestimated one of them all. How do you rest? What's your rest strategy? We all need it, right? And then lastly, journaling and expressive writing. So I highly recommend journaling for everything, whether it's something you're working through, whether it's a difficult situation that you are growing through or taking responsibility for, whether it's, really it could be anything. Journaling is so good and so healing. Expressive writing, on the other hand, is, expressive writing is basically a 20 minutes of free-flowing writing on a particular subject. So it could be an experience you just had, positive or negative, it doesn't matter. It could be a difficult situation. You write about it. Doesn't have to be pretty, doesn't have to be correct in any way. It could be messy, but you write for 20 minutes. That's expressive writing. Highly recommended. That's also part of self-care practices. And if you're like me, I like to have journals everywhere because you just don't know when that moment of creativity is going to come. It's super helpful. So I've said it in the previous video, maybe even more than one, but we are meant to grow and expand. Humans are the happiest when they're growing and expanding and becoming more. And we need to know when we are depleted, when we are tired, when we are under stress, when our batteries are running low, and we have to be able to manage this. And so what this allows us to do is take responsibility for it. I am responsible for my health. You are responsible for your health. No one else is. And yes, we're tired. Yes, we're stressed. Yes, there's all these things happening, especially in this crazy year of 2020, but I'm still responsible for my health, and my health still is the foundation of everything I do. And if I don't have that, I don't have anything. So this is a big one. It started easy, but it actually turned out to a really big subject. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time.